Yeah, so context for this game is it's a remake of the first game that came out forever ago on the Apple PC, like 98 or whatever. And yeah, so this is like the granddaddy game that inspired Final Fantasy and Dragon Quest. So it has a lot of weight to it. It's like, oh, like you're playing this game, you can see, oh yeah, this is where this came from for Dragon Quest. This is where this came from for whatever, you know. So if you're interested in like game history, I think the game's really cool just for that fact. But also, it's just a super solid dungeon crawler because I mean it is the original one. But what makes this one so special, I think, is it makes it approachable for a new player who's never played a super hard dungeon crawler, right? So what they've done with it is they've essentially combined all versions of this game, like the original PC version, the SNES version, and then a new modern version. So you have 3 different versions of the game, and you can toggle and add different like things to it. So if you want to just play a modern version, you can, or you can play a mix and match version of the original and the SNES version and the modern one. So they have all these different like permutations that you can add to difficulty level, what you lose on death, and all these things. So I mean, it's a definite buy if you're into these sort of things. Or if you have like $35 laying around, you want to be like, oh yeah, I want to try Wizardry for whatever reason, then you can play it. But it's definitely a labor of love kind of game. It's not a game that's going to sell a lot. It's not a game that's like out to make a statement. It's just like, yeah, let's remake this really cool game that everybody who's a game designer loves, you know? So yeah, it's solid. It's the original game from top to bottom with modern graphics and sensibilities in some places. It's still pretty harsh and hard and all that.
They use like original code as the backbone.
Like original code is running in the background at all times on this version. Yeah,
you can pull up the old interface at any time to see what it looks like, which is really cool. So that's just kind of how it looks at all times with the old game in the bottom right and the modern one in the center. You can also customize all your characters, put custom portraits in there, whatever. It's a must buy if you're into this sort of game.
It's Digital Eclipse, so it's like its existence is there to be preservation. But also like give you something to actually like enjoy too. They do that all the time. They're like, we've also got a modern version thrown in there. It's like, remember that Blizzard collection? That they did? Yeah. Like they did the same thing where it's like, oh, we put like Lost Vikings on here like 4 different times, but we also like mashed together the SNES and Genesis version to give the best versions features of those 2 different versions in it and stuff. And they did the same thing with this.
It's cool. Yeah, it's crazy. There's just it's bare bones kind of in a modern sensibility, but if you know what it is, there's depth to it. So yeah,
it's still like 40 plus hours, right? You can still get that chunky amount of gameplay out of this,
and you can make it as hard or as easy as you want to. So it's just it's
quality
crazy. And you can play it with a controller, which is nice.
Oh, nice.
Yeah.